In the early hours of New Year's Day, 2023, Ana Walshe was killed inside her own home. The exact cause of death was never confirmed, because her body was never found. But afterward, her body was cut into pieces so it could be gotten rid of. Over the next 3 days, while everyone believed Ana had simply flown back to Washington, D.C. for work, her remains were being driven around Massachusetts and thrown away in dumpsters more than 45 minutes from her home. Those dumpsters were emptied and burned before anyone even knew she was missing. That is why, to this day, her body has never been found. This is the full story of what happened to Ana Walshe, who did this to her, and how he got caught. Ana Walshe was born in Belgrade, Serbia. She grew up there and went to college at the University of Belgrade, studying French. In 2005, when she was in her early 20s, she left her home country and moved to the United States by herself to build a better life. She started out working simple hotel jobs in Virginia and Massachusetts, and slowly worked her way up. Along the way, she became a US citizen while keeping her Serbian citizenship too. People who knew her all say the same thing. She was hard-working, kind, and completely devoted to her kids. She never stopped trying to build a better life for her family. While working at a hotel in Massachusetts, she met a man named Ana Walshe. They got married in 2015, bought a house together in a small coastal town called Cohasset, Massachusetts, and had 3 sons. From the outside, it looked like a normal, happy family. But Brian had a hidden side. Years before meeting Ana, he had gotten involved in an art scam. He sold 2 fake Andy Warhol paintings to a buyer, pretending they were real and worth a lot of money. When the buyer found out the paintings were fakes, Brian got caught, and he eventually pleaded guilty to fraud in federal court. By the start of 2023, Brian was waiting to be sentenced for that crime and was living under a form of house arrest. Meanwhile, Ana was doing well. She had just gotten a promotion at a real estate company and was splitting her time between their home in Massachusetts and an apartment in Washington, D.C. for work. So while Ana's life was moving forward, Brian's was stuck and getting worse. On New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2022, the Walshes had a family friend named Jem Mutlu over for dinner. Brian cooked. Everyone had a nice time. The friend stayed until about 1:30 in the morning and later told police that nothing seemed wrong at all that night. Sometime after that, in the very early hours of January 1st, Ana Walshe was killed. That was the last time anyone would ever see her alive. Brian told police a simple story. Ana got an urgent call about a work problem, so she left the house around 6 a.m. to catch a ride to the airport and fly back to D.C. He said he spent the rest of that day and the next running normal errands, visiting his mum, going to the store, taking one of his sons out for a milkshake. Nobody questioned it at first, because nobody had a reason to. Ana didn't show up for work on January 4th, and when her co-workers couldn't reach her, they got worried and called the police to check on her. That's when everything started to unravel. Police quickly found there was no record of any car ever picking Ana up that morning. Her phone never left the area of the house. It just stayed there until it turned off for good in the early hours of January 2nd. She never got on a flight. She never posted online, never used her bank card, never contacted anyone again after New Year's. Then they checked Brian's story and found the same thing. No proof he ever went to the stores he said he visited. But they did find something else. Security footage from a Home Depot on January 2nd, showing Brian wearing a surgical mask and gloves, buying about $450 worth of supplies, tarps, a full-body protective suit, cleaning products, a hacksaw, and a hatchet. When police searched the Walshe house, they found blood and a bloody knife in the basement. Phone records showed Brian driving to two other towns, nearly 45 minutes away, on January 3rd. Cameras caught him throwing heavy trash bags into dumpsters there. Those specific dumpsters were emptied and burned by the trash company before investigators even knew Ana was missing, which is a big reason her body was never recovered. A search of a different trash facility turned up 10 bags filled with bloody towels, cleaning supplies, a hacksaw, a hatchet, a rug, and pieces of Ana herself, the boots she'd been wearing, a broken piece of her necklace, and her vaccination card. On January 8, 2023, Brian was arrested, not yet for murder, just for lying to police. There's actual video of his arrest where he's smiling, which is part of what made this case go viral in the first place. 10 days later, he was charged with murder. That's also when investigators revealed the most disturbing piece of evidence: a string of Google searches made on his young son's iPad, starting the very morning Ana was killed. Searches like how long it takes for a body to start smelling, how to stop a body from decomposing, the best ways to get rid of a body, whether you can be identified from broken teeth, the best tool for cutting up a body, and whether someone can be charged with murder if there's no body at all. Brian later tried to blame these searches on his 6-year-old son. He couldn't explain how a 6-year-old would spell everything correctly and ask such specific questions. Investigators believe a few things pushed Brian toward murder. Ana had recently found out how serious his legal trouble really was, and told friends she was thinking about leaving him for good. She had also started seeing another man, though her friend described it as more of an emotional connection than anything physical. On top of that, Brian was set to receive over $2.7 million from Ana's life insurance, since he was the only person listed as the beneficiary. Whatever the exact reason, prosecutors said Brian made a decision that night and spent the following days trying to make sure nobody could ever prove it. It took almost 3 years for this case to go to trial. Right before jury selection began in November 2025, Brian suddenly pleaded guilty to 2 smaller charges: lying to police and illegally disposing of a body, but he still said he did not kill her. The trial lasted about 2 weeks. Prosecutors brought in around 50 witnesses, including Ana's friends, co-workers, and the man she had been seeing. Brian's lawyers didn't call a single witness. Brian never took the stand. On December 15, 2025, after about 6 hours of deliberation, the jury found him guilty of first-degree murder. He showed no reaction. 3 days later, a judge sentenced him to life in prison, with no chance of parole, telling him plainly that what he did was barbaric and incomprehensible, and that he showed no concern for the damage he caused his own 3 sons, who were only 2, 4, and 6 years old at the time. Ana Walshe's body has never been found. Her family finally has an answer for who did this and why, but they don't have anywhere to visit. No grave, nothing to bury. Just a conviction. 3 little boys lost their mum on the very first morning of a new year, inside a house that looked completely normal from the outside. Ana crossed an ocean to build a better life for her family. The saddest part of this whole case is that the one person who was supposed to protect that life is the one who took it away. If this case shocked you as much as it shocked me, let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next one.